How do we handle failure towards God? Eh, how do we handle failure towards God? Yeah, I think as human beings, we have series of responses. Yeah, it's more like a pre-built thing into the human nature. So I'll say they are like top 3 human responses. They are like our go-to responses. And the first one is take the flight, run away. When you have probably done something bad or disrespected somebody or failed towards somebody, just take the flight, run away. Most of the time, that's like our first response. And the second thing is, the second response is we point fingers. Yeah, we point fingers. Oh, you pushed me to do that. Yeah, you were the one that triggered me. Yeah, you triggered me. What you said triggered me. So it made me do what I did. That's like the second response. And the third response is we go in search of who can fix this thing. Yeah, we have made an error. We broke something. We disobeyed. We go in search of who can actually help me fix this thing. So to be able to get to a conclusion of how to handle our failure towards God, I think we just have to go back to the beginning and see as, okay, people that came before us, that has been written down, Bible being the standard now, that has been written down in the Bible. Like, okay, this is how this person lived, this is how this person lived, this is the character, this is the this, that of this person. We need to go back there and see from how it happened, or situations or events where it occurred and how it played out. So I think I chose the Adam and Eve. Yeah, I chose the Adam and Eve. And let's go back to the beginning now, because I think their situation is the best for us because they were the first humans. Yeah, there was no other reactions or responses before they were like the first people that gave responses to anything in this world. So let's go back to their story. God made these 2 people and he kept them in the garden, and he gave series of instructions: explore, go skydiving, play football, have a wife if he's a wife already, have babies, name the animals, go see the fish, go see the 7 seas, just live good life. Basically, I believe that's the instruction. Just live like a God that you are, because it was said that we were made in his own image. Yeah, so live like a God that you are, but do not eat from this tree, the tree of the knowledge of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Yeah, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Do not eat from that tree. Do not. That was an instruction on its own side. But they continued living life like that, and life was good for them. And until it got to a point where the serpent came in and spoke things into the mind of the woman, spoke things into her heart, and those things sprung up desires. And she went there, and it was stated that she saw that they were good looking, and it was pleasant to the eyes. Yeah, that's the word, that's the phrase. It was pleasant to the eyes. And she went there, she took it, and she ate it. Then she shared with her husband, and then their eyes opened. Then God, like he used to do now, I believe that there was a relationship between God and these people. Yeah, like he came to them, they spoke about their day. What did you name this one? I believe like God dwelt in their midst. Yeah, so he came during the cool of the day. And when these 2 humans, when they found out like, oh, God is in the garden, because their eyes was opened, they responded. What did they do? They hid their face. They took the first natural response for human, I think according to nature: run away, take the flight. Yeah. So he went on. God was, okay, where are these guys? Adam, where are you? And Adam responded, yeah, God, I'm here. but I found out that I am naked, so I hid my face from you. And God is like, what? Who told you that you are naked? And and it's like, God, it's the woman that you gave to me. He pointed fingers. Yeah, he took the second response. He pointed fingers. There was no accountability there. This is not being too harsh on Adam, but this is just trying to bring you into the light of, or bring us into the light of how we are handling failure. And this in the context of towards God. Yeah, towards God, in the context of God. So there was no accountability there. I took the fruit from her. That's still some level of accountability. But he pointed finger. It is the woman that you gave me. If you did not give me this woman, maybe I might not have eaten this fruit. So God was like, okay, Eve, come. What did you do? And she's like, God, it's the serpent. It's the serpent. He told me that it's a good fruit, and I saw that it was good looking, and I had it. She pointed fingers too. She didn't take accountability for it, and you understand that we are not being harsh. We're just trying to still see our responses, and these are things that we do in our daily lives. These are things that happen in our daily life. Something happened. It came up through you. You shouted at somebody, and your boss is like, "Why did you shout? Why did you shout at her?" And you're like, "When I was coming upstairs, told me it was downstairs, and she was so rude to me. Told me pushed you to shout at somebody else." Yeah. That's it. We take those responses too. So it's not being harsh. It's still here till date. It's here with us. It's the responses of the fallen state of man. Yeah, it's the responses of the fallen state of man. So let's go back into the garden. We can see from the story that they took the first response. They hid their face, they ran away. They took the second response. They pointed fingers, they shifted blames. And now there is still the third response, where we search for who can fix this error that we have made. So if we try to join a story or join this response to what would have happened in the garden, we would have said, when God showed up and is like, Adam, where are you? Or before God even called out, because we saw in the story that they noticed that God is already in the garden. Even before he called out, they noticed. So if they took the third response, or if they wanted to act on the third response, it would have been something like Adam will call out to God, and he knows that he has messed up. Then he call out to God, my state of mind has changed. I think I understand what this one is. I understand what that one is. I understand what this one is. Then he needs to be vulnerable there. Yeah. That's the third response. You need to be vulnerable to know that you have messed up. But you want to rely, you can put your trust on this person, this personality that has showed up to you, which in the context here is God. He has showed up to them like, yo, man, where are you? He should have been, yeah, God, I messed up. I know I messed up. I ate from this fruit. But please do something about this. Please. He's a compassionate God. That's like we now going back into the character, because we should trust the character. That's one thing I still saw in the story. I believed that Adam and Eve did not really know so much of the character of God. I don't know if I'm right, but I just hold on to that belief. Like, if they knew that he was a loving God, yeah, like not out of feeling, with a stable fact, a concrete fact that this character is a loving character. He has loved me even before he made me. Yeah, even before my conception, he loved me. Like, they would have run back to him. they would have searched for him to fix the error. And I believe that's the way I see it now. Like, that should be our response, the third response. When you mess up a thing, search, go. If it's in our daily life, your boss or your spouse or your friend or your parents or your children or somebody close to you or dear to you or anybody, just go back to them, speak about it. And I know it's not easy, but you make effort. When you make effort and you do it, you feel some level of peace, you feel cleansed. And I think if Adam and Eve, if the third response had been what they took, God is a loving God. He will not forsake his own children. He will not forsake his own children. He will bring them close and make their ways better, and he cleanses them of their sin and cleanse of their shortcomings. He does not count for them anymore. I think that answers it for us. When we fail towards God, to come to a conclusion, when we fail towards God, running back to him should be the preferred option, should be the default option. We need to program ourselves into that mindset that it becomes automatic when you fail towards God, instead of running away. And there are some coping mechanism here to just expose a little bit of light to it. There are some coping mechanism of when you fail towards God, then you now run out of grace and start doing good works. You start being conscious of not telling lies, of not fighting your neighbor, of not cheating the other person, trying to earn your forgiveness, instead of just running back to the Father and go and plead about it. Humble yourself, be vulnerable. I have sinned. You have seen me. You have caught me. I messed up. Please, just forgive me. He's a loving Father. He will gladly do it for us. He will gladly do it for us. So I know there are, like I said before, there are perspectives to these things. People see it in plenty light. So if you want to broaden the perspective, or just the question is, how do you handle failure towards God in your own life? Just share with us in the comment section to grow the community. Let's share light. Thank you.